What if the very thing that you've been doing to try to protect yourself from anxiety is actually the thing keeping you stuck in it? Welcome back to the Broken to Brave podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that feels so intuitive, yet creates the opposite, the exact opposite of what you want. And most of us have been taught if it feels bad, move away from it. But when it comes to anxiety, that instinct backfires. And I've seen this time and time and time again with my clients. If you've been tiptoeing your days through your days, trying not to feel anxious, then this episode is going to give you the clarity and the relief that you didn't know you needed. And if it already feels like I'm speaking to you, I want you to know Brave Academy is where we unlearn this pattern so that you're no longer just trying to cope by avoiding, but you're actually breaking free from anxiety for good. And this is where healing begins safely, gently, and sustainably. And you can learn more by booking a call with me at www.brave-method.com/book. If you have ever canceled plans, avoided a conversation, or stayed in a job or a relationship just to keep anxiety at bay, you're not alone. These patterns make sense when your body's trying to protect you, but you deserve more than just survival. And if you're listening to this and you didn't raise your hand when I said that, let's step out of denial. I haven't ever, maybe there's somebody that I haven't met, but I haven't met a single person who hasn't avoided a hard conversation. And you might be listening thinking, well, I don't resonate as being an anxious person. Fear is anxiety in many ways, and it drives our behavior as human beings. Let's get into it. Picture this. You're sitting at your desk and suddenly your chest tightens. Maybe your breath shallows, maybe your thoughts start to race and you feel the ground beneath you shifted. Your brain kicks in. Oh no, not this again. I can't do this right now. Let's just cancel. Or maybe I'll just distract myself. Maybe I'll just scroll, breathe it away, make it stop. And when you avoid it, you skip the thing, you shut down the conversation, you cancel the plans. You do feel temporary relief, right? The vast majority of the time, that's the case. But here's the problem. Your body starts to associate safety with avoidance. So then you're in a loop where your nervous system believes, and I'll emphasize believes, it is keeping you safe. Do you want to keep reinforcing safety is avoidance? I don't think so, because what happens when safety is avoidance? Your world gets smaller, your anxiety gets bigger, and even the things that used to feel neutral now feel threatening. I spoke with somebody over the weekend and she shared, long time she's been aware that she just feels claustrophobic. So she avoids tight spaces. And before, she never had an issue with roller coasters. Now she does because she feels stuck. And you might think, well, I don't really need to ride roller coasters. That's not a big deal. But the point is, the more you avoid, the more it grows. And that things that used to feel neutral, roller coasters were totally fine for her before, no longer are. Avoidance activates short-term reward, relief, escape, control, but it teaches a long-term lie. I can't handle this. This is dangerous. I must stay away. Anxiety isn't dangerous. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Sometimes deeply uncomfortable? Yeah. And if you've been stuck in the pattern, you know that, but you also know it's not going to kill you because it hasn't. The discomfort is survivable. But when you stop running from it and you start learning how to stay with it from a regulated standpoint, even just for 30 seconds at a time, you begin to rewire your nervous system. And that might mean staying, in some situations, 5 more minutes at an event, or maybe making a phone call, or maybe breathing through an elevator ride, or letting yourself feel anxiety and then realizing it passed. instead of thoughts like, this is too much. I can't handle this right now. What if it spirals and I can't control it? I'm just going to avoid it. It's not worth the stress. What if I panic in front of everyone? I'd rather not risk it. I've been doing so well. I don't want to mess it up by pushing myself. Have you had any of those thoughts or something similar? Instead of having those, when you recalibrate your nervous system, you begin to feel, without even realizing it, typically one day you're booking the flight, you're speaking your truth, you're enjoying the moment instead of bracing for what might go wrong. Everything you want is on the opposite side of what you're avoiding. Your opportunity is to look at, what have I been avoiding? Avoiding can feel like protection, but it is actually robbing you. It's robbing you of your ability to say yes when you really want to. It's robbing you of your trust in your own emotional resilience. It's robbing you of the belief that you can and will be okay, even when you feel scared. And you maybe have thought, well, I'm staying safe. But what you're really doing is, I'm going to give you a long list right now, and I want you to pause and think through, which of these resonate with me. Can I relate to this in some way? It doesn't have to be the exact statement, but in some way. Skipping family trips because of plane anxiety, stopping or staying quiet in meetings to avoid speaking up, not setting a boundary because of how you feel about yourself if the other person isn't happy with the boundary, turning down invitations because what if I panic, tiptoeing around what you actually want to say because it might feel like too much to actually say it, skipping going to concerts or events or just crowded places because panic feels unpredictable, skipping going to a wedding or a reunion because of the dread about social anxiety or needing to escape, not negotiating a raise or a promotion because the thought of conflict or standing up for yourself makes you freeze, not saying no to extra work because of guilt and people pleasing kicking in, not saying what you actually feel because it might lead to confrontation or rejection. Maybe not letting other people support you because vulnerability has felt too exposing. Not trusting your own decisions because you always second guess yourself and catastrophize. And not feeling at peace because you've just been waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know, the list goes on and on and on. But which of these resonate most with you? If you're resonating with some or all of this, you don't feel free. You probably feel like you're managing yourself, or you're trying to manage your reactions, manage your emotions, but that's not what you want, is it? Like, really, when you think about it, don't you want to feel free? And instead of building a life around avoiding anxiety, build a nervous system that can hold any emotion so that no one emotion overpowers you. That doesn't mean throwing yourself into panic. It means slowly, safely recalibrating your nervous system so that it's no longer overreacting to stress and so that it's no longer giving that false alarm. Practicing micro moments of staying present without spiraling, breathing instead of bracing, naming the emotion underneath the anxiety instead of fearing it, and recognizing and saying, okay, this may feel uncomfortable. I'm okay. I don't have to run from it. And that's exactly what we do inside of Brave Academy. I don't just throw you into the deep end and say, swim. I promise. I guide you step by step out of survival and into confidence and freedom. And if you're thinking, but if I stop avoiding, isn't that just going to make things worse? I hear that all the time. Avoidance doesn't stop the spiral, it fuels it. Remember, everything that you want is on the opposite side of what you're avoiding. What actually stops the spiral is nervous system recalibration, emotional tolerance so that no one emotion is overpowering you and controlling you, and self-trust. And All of those skills are skills that you can build, even if you haven't done so yet. No matter if you've been struggling with anxiety for a week, for a couple months, for a few years, your whole life, these are skills that you can build. One of my Brave Academy clients actually used to avoid everything that triggered her. She ended up stopped driving. She avoided trips with her family, and she even quit working. I mean, there was a bigger list, but those are some of the key points. When we started working together, she told me, I never knew that I could recalibrate my nervous system. I didn't know that was a thing. I spent more than a decade in therapy, and now that I think about it, I felt like shit after every session. After I recalibrated my nervous system, everything started changing for me. And when I did the self-trust challenge, which is inside of Brave Academy, by the way, you know what she said? When I did the self-trust challenge, I drove places I haven't driven in years. Now she travels, she drives, she speaks up, and as she goes to crowded places, and she's not panicking. She no longer is having panic attacks, and she fully trusts herself to deal with whatever happens when it happens. She doesn't brace, she breathes. She doesn't spiral, she trusts herself. And that is what healing looks like. If you've been waiting to feel ready or to wait for everything in your life to line up, that day won't come. Avoidance doesn't make you more ready. It makes you feel controlled by the very thing that you're avoiding. You don't have to be fearless to start either. You just have to be willing. And this is where the transformation truly begins. Part of me feels afraid, and I'm still choosing to show up. If you're tired of feeling controlled by your fears, I want to invite you into Brave Academy, because this isn't just about driving again. This isn't just about setting a boundary or saying no. It's about showing up for your life and the people that you love without fearing what could happen, without letting fear call the shots. This is where we walk through how to recalibrate your nervous system so that anxiety and fear aren't in the driver's seat, how to stop avoiding your life and feel safe. I give you a step-by-step process to increase safety, and how to rebuild trust so that your body and your mind can live freely. If these are results that you want, book a free call at www.brave-method.com/book, and we will chat and see if Brave Academy is the best next step for you. All right, I'll see you next Tuesday.